You heard this thing about that they now watermelons. This is one of, I mean, I wear them anyway, but this is now
pull up the image first.
In Germany. Watermelons.
Yeah.
Is what?
Watermelons.
We see their watermelons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're not in Germany. You're not allowed.
Why?
Because they're saying it's an anti-Semitic symbol.
Who made that up?
Well, because it's a sign of Palestinian resistance. So in order for Palestinians to have self-determination, we must hate Jews. See, one means the other. So if we're supporting Palestinians, then we must hate Jews. That's the thing.
You can't wear watermelon earring or watermelon anything. I guess no t-shirts, nothing, huh?
If Jen was in Berlin or Munich right now, walking around with those things on her ears, she'd probably get arrested. Yeah. I mean, we covered a story in the UK the other day where this lady was arrested for a thought crime. Some douchebag on the train that they were on thought that he heard her say that the Holocaust wasn't real. He's like, oh no, he called the police on her and they arrested her.
Because he felt uncomfortable that she was being a Holocaust denier.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy.
Not only that, but Rachel's concerned that if we're going to get in trouble for growing them, you know, I mean, watermelons are very subversive, apparently.
Not where you live.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not where I live. No. Can you buy them at the grocery store in Germany? Probably. That's what's so weird about it. I mean, I can't imagine they're actually banning the produce.
Speaking of living in Western North Carolina, and I've been saying this for a while, and Jen, I think you actually did come around to either agreeing with me outright or you definitely agree with me now, that the only reason why this hasn't taken hold in the United States the way that it has in several parts of Europe, including what would be considered our biggest allies, like the UK, like Germany, is because this is an armed to the teeth country. This is a country that fully believes in the right to bear arms. And if you even attempt to try to pull that here, that's how you'll have your revolution. You start arresting people.
Well, that's what's happening here. You've pissed off the red team now, and the red team is armed. I can't tell you the amount of Trump voters that I'm friendly with, people that I know here, like that, they're ready to pick up their guns. That's how angry these people are. And these were people that, again, are the red team.
Right. Yep. But what are they angry about?
That they were lied to and manipulated, and that their money being spent in wars overseas, and they still can't make ends meet. And
they're starting to notice, all of them, I think, or not the real maggots. I call them maggots. Not his base. Those the people that where was he at the villages, and they were like laughing, and he was insulting them and saying the. Crazy.
He was insulting them, and they were laughing
and clapping.
Yeah, no, that's.
So those
what are they saying? The Hondola? You mean like not the Hamsa? What is a Hondola? That they're what am I missing? What's the other symbol?
Maybe it will explain if you scroll down. And I just wanted to piggyback on your thought. The fact of the matter is that there is a old white conservative Christian nationalist population in this country. They're all evangelicals. They're Christian Zionists, and these are the people who are comfortable that kind of like seeing people suffer in the world, and they don't. Like they kind of take certain pleasure in that, which is unbelievable, but it is what it is. So Germany's domestic intelligence services have produced a dossier detailing secular pro-Palestinian extremism in the country. The report by the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution, BFV, includes sections on anti-Semitism and secular pro-Palestinian extremism symbols and identifying marks. This is unbelievable.
Wait, no, but I want everybody to listen to this for a second, because the people gloss over these things, and this is one of those sort of media literacy moments. So anti-Semitism in secular pro-Palestinian extremism. Secular extremism doesn't exist. There's no such thing. No, by definition, extremists are never secular, right? No. Like that doesn't make any sense. So look at the lunacy of this language of this bill. Secular pro-Palestinian extreme. I've never met a secular extremist. So, Mom, you?
We're pretty secular. I mean, like,
right? Are you extremists? Well, you're. Yeah, I mean, you're not. You're.
No.
But it's just so ridiculous. But yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Secular pro-Palestinian extremism in this country is extremely heterogeneous and comprises various organizations, movements, networks, and individuals mentioning the existence of long-standing groups and ones that formed after the lead attacks on October 7th, 23. The BFE describes these groups and individuals as being united in their hostility towards Israel, whose right to exist they regularly refuse to recognize, and against which they often agitate in a manner contrary to international understanding. How about—
So you're not allowed to think that, apparently. You're not allowed to even think.
It's wrong think. This is George Orwell 1984 shit. That's what this is.
Well, Germany's in such a, I mean, they're so overcompensating because of World War II. Like Germany's always been one of the biggest gung-ho Zio supporters, and also because they're still pretty anti-Semitic there, and they don't want the Jews there. They want them in Israel.
Just put them somewhere else.
Yes, because in reality, they should have gotten a piece of Germany.
Of course.
In reality, there should have been a portion of Germany, of that whole thing, that was made a safe haven for Jews, like the obelisk in Russia that's that safe Jewish haven place.
Well, that's where the Berlin Wall comes into play. And obviously, let's face it, at the end of the day, they really didn't want to go to war against Germany. They wanted to go to war against Russia. They wanted to go to war against communism. That's what it always was. But, history has a very unique bend in so many respects when you learn. And you talk about all the Nazi scientists that they brought in to compete against the Soviet Union when it came to the space race and all this shit. I mean, let me tell you guys, it's not black and white. It's a lot of gray.
No. How long, what are they? I want to see the other symbol that they're talking about.
Referring to protests against Israel's genocide in Gaza, Germany's BFV says that particularly in Berlin, statements or displays with anti-Israel and sometimes anti-Septic content are regularly made or displayed.
See, I have this theory, Dad, I know you'll agree with it. It's like, people are allowed to hate Jews if they want to hate Jews. You're allowed to hate people. Like, I don't have I like to know who my bigots are. I don't have a problem with that. I find it very scary that we're telling people that they can't not like certain people. Like, I don't want to be friends with people like that.
Well, I think the last bastion in the United States of the Zionist cause, of the Israel cause, is that there is still a significant portion of this country that is extremely anti-Muslim. Like, they really are. Yeah. And they play into that for all it's worth. And it still works. It doesn't work anywhere near like it used to, but there's still enough blood in the water where they can make that work. And for however much longer it works, that's what they're going to hang their hat on. German police have cracked down on pro-Palestinian protests since they began. Protests have been banned, and leading German politicians have reiterated the country's Staatsratzen, or reason of state, a principle that places support for Israel at the core of Germany's national identity. Well, considering how white nationalistic the whole concept is, I guess I can understand. It's like I guess the Third Reich never really died. Last month, police in Berlin arrested demonstrators, including minors. Footage taken over the course of multiple days showed officers forcing people to the ground, dragging them away, and aggressively restraining them. The demonstrations remained nonviolent before police intervened, the footage showed. They've been arresting us for 3 years until now just because we are Palestinian and they are committed to a genocide. They are fascism. I agree with the protest.
That's kind of like what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what's going on here. That's the whole point. Yeah, we don't need to read this whole thing, but I want to see that symbol, what they're talking.
How much longer is this, Colin?
How far down does this go? Israel's right to exist. Yeah, we're not talking about that. What's the symbol? That's what I don't know. If anybody knows, so the watermelon they have a problem with.
Let's just read the part that says Israel's right to exist.
It's so gross.
The BFE states in its dossier, secular pro-Palestinian extremists regularly deny Israel's right to exist. They don't have a right to exist. And it's securing its security interest in maintaining the integrity of its territory. However, it does not cite examples because there aren't any. The report features a map of Israel and the Palestinian territories. The concept of Israel's right to exist is regularly aired by its defenders, despite there being no provision in international law guaranteeing such a right to any country, with statehood generally deemed as a political rather than legal reality. While liberal democracies have typically enacted laws to protect the rights of individuals, fascist regimes such as Nazi Germany remove protections for civil rights and free speech, empowering the state and enabling its expansion. Thought they were socialist. The state of Israel has expanded since its creation by force.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Following the expulsion of 750,000 Palestinians from their homes. And its border, I thought this started October 7th, 2023. And its borders have continued to change since the genocide in Gaza began. With Israel now occupying more than half of the Strip and advancing into southern Lebanon. Boy, have they ever. Behind apparent criticism, the Israel state anti-Semitic agitation is often concealed, as no distinction is made between the actions of the Israeli state and those of the Jewish religious community. And anti-Jewish stereotypes are projected onto Israel. This statement is followed by a picture of a house in Germany sprayed with two slogans.
The Handala is the cartoon character. Now I remember. The Handala is the cartoon character of the little boy that was drawn, I want to say, from like the first Intifada. So yeah, so the symbolism of the cut watermelon. So apparently we're not allowed to have these in Germany. Well, I was never going back there anyway. So
I see. Okay, so it appears that column, let me just scroll a little bit more, just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Here, the outline of the entire state of Israel is depicted in the colors of the Palestine. So that's the other thing that you can't do. That's what you can't do.
Right. You can't show Israel like Palestine is a watermelon.
Well, no, not it's two things. You can't show the watermelon, and you cannot show Israel as Palestine. You can't wear the shape of the Israel as the state of Israel in the Palestinian colors as a symbol. Apparently, that's a hate symbol as well.
Oh, that's crazy.